Hello, my name is Kronk and welcome back to World of Warcraft. Today I'm on the live servers and not on the beta, and I'm going to have a look at one of the new additions that have been added in patch 6.0, and that is the toy box. And I'm also going to tell you how you obtain these toys. But firstly, I'll start off with the easier toys to obtain. So these are from vendors that have no requirements apart from you may need either gold or another currency. So these are from the Toy Works. The main one is in Dalaran. There are a few others in a couple of cities. So I know there's one in Stormont. I'm not sure where the Horde one is. And these toys can all be bought with gold. So no other things needed. No rep or anything else needed. Now, notice the pigskin and the football here at the top. They weren't on the previous ones because there are actually two of them in the toy box, and the proper ones are from Winter Vale. So I'll show them later. But if you buy them now from the toy box and have the ones for the Winter Vales, you have 4 toys for the price of 2. So now we've got the Foxycopter controller and the stackable stag. Both of them are from the vendor Sally Fizzlefury, who is in the Valley of the Four Winds by Hemet Nessingway's little camp area. These both cost 1,000 gold to buy, so they're not too expensive, especially compared to some of the later ones. Such as Calitha's Haunted Locket, which cost 5,000 gold and is from a vendor in Azjara. He's in a wizard tower just in the hills by Mount Hyjal. Otherwise, there's the Iron Boot Flask, which instead of gold requires relics of Ulduar, which drop off any dark iron dwarves in the Storm Peaks. So now we move on to professions, and this page in particular is archaeology. So you've got Fossil Ancient Amber at the top, and then Draenor, Arrival of the Naru. Blessing the Old God is Tolvir, and then Bones of Transformation, Druid and Priest Statue Set, Highborn Soul Mirror, Caldori Wind Chimes, Wisp Amulet are all Night Elf. The Chalice of the Mountain Kings is from the Dwarves, Haunted War Drum is from Trolls, and the Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron is from Nerubium, and then the Vrykul Warhelm is from the Vrykul Archaeology. So the majority of profession toys are from archaeology, but these ones require engineering. So we have the normal Crash and Thrashin robot, not a blue one, and then Gnomish X-Ray Specs, the Snowmaster 9000, World Enlarger and World Shrinker. Now, the World Enlarger and the Gnomish X-Ray Specs require Gnomish engineering to actually be made and also to use. All of these toys, except for the Crash and Thrashin robot, also have to have engineering on the character in order for the toy to actually be used. So you can learn it from an engineer, but unfortunately you have to be an engineer to actually use the toy itself. So these next two are from fishing, and the Titanium Seal of Dalaran is acquired by fishing up all the bronze, silver and gold coins from the Fountain of Dalaran by Marsha Chase. The Unusual Compass is just a random drop from the fishing daily bag. So this used to be just a common item which wasn't a toy, but now if you kept it, well done. I had to go get mine again after deleting it or selling it every time because it wasn't needed and it was just considered junk. And finally, the last of the professions is the flippable table, which you get by using iron pour tokens from the cooking dailies. Now I'm going to have a look at the toys that you can get from outdoor hubs, so basically areas like these, the Argent Tournaments. These are all the banners that you can acquire, and they're pretty much all the toys that are from the Argent Tournament. Now the cool thing is you don't need Alliance and Horde characters to obtain all the banners. So here I buy the Gnomegan banner, and I learn it, and you'll notice that I also learn the Thunderbluff banner at the same time. So it's quite useful to be able to get them all on one character. Now on to the Molten Front toys, where they are all acquired through different stages of the Molten Front attack. So they can all just be bought with either the tokens that you get from them, or Myloon's Call is actually acquired by gold. Now it's time to move on to some more difficult ones to get. These are from raids, scenarios, or dungeons. But these first two are from Throne of Thunder. The Gastropod shell is a drop, a very, very rare drop, whereas the Shadowpan Geyser gun is actually obtained through a very, very tedious kind of jumping game, where you have to jump from one water pool to the other. And I say jump, you don't actually jump yourself, you get propelled in whatever direction you're facing a specific distance. And so you've just got to aim your character to land on each of them. And as soon as you get to 250 stacks of this debuff, you get a mail from Toshi, and you get your water gun. So yeah, pretty annoying. The next one, the Honorary Brewmaster Keg, is for completing all of the brew achievements for scenarios. It's a meta, and that is the reward for the meta achievement. Krastenov's Bag of Horrors is actually a drop from Dr. Theolan Krastenov, aka the Butcher, in Scholarmance. He is a rare boss who only appears occasionally. The next two are technically quest items or quest rewards, but they are from the Shadowmourne Legendary quest, and that requires doing Icecrown Citadel 25-man heroic many times to actually complete. So I've put these in with the raids as well. These can actually be sold on the auction house, so you may have seen them since Wrath of the Lich King, and if you haven't already got one, then they won't be too hard to obtain, they'll just be a bit expensive. And then there's the Orb of Sindore, which has a small chance to drop off any boss out of Magister's Terrace. A slightly greater chance of dropping off Kel'Thas Sunstrider, aka the last boss of Magister's Terrace. And so that brings us nicely to quest toys, so toys you obtain by doing certain quests. Now, these may already be in your toy box. If you deleted any of the toys that you got from previous quests, then as long as you've completed the quest, they are automatically in your toy box. So these are from various quests in Mr. Pandaria. Not too hard to find where they come from. I mean, most of them are from the Valley of the Four Winds, but otherwise the other two are the Faded Wizard's Hat, which can only be obtained by Horde, is a quest in Ajara, and the Power Converter can only be obtained by the Alliance from the Blade's Edge Mountains. This next group are all reputation toys, so as you can see on most of them it tells you what reputation you need to actually obtain them. However, Nat's Fishing Chair is technically Profession's reputation, so you have to become best buds with Nat Pagel, and that requires fishing up the 3 rare fish every day and handing them to him for rep. The final 3, or rather 4, are obtained through reputations from Cataclysm and just general vanilla. So the Tolbrad Searchlight, at the moment I have the Alliance version here, but like the Argent Tournament banners, as soon as you learn one version of the Tolbrad Searchlight, you get the other one for free. The Frenzy Heart Brew as well is from the Frenzy Heart tribe in Sholazar Basin. So now I'm going to move on to the rare mobs of Pandaria and what they drop. So, as you can see, they have the drop chances and the person who drops them on all of these. The BFF necklace is the only one that people might not have got because it's technically not a rare mob, at least it hasn't got the Silver Dragon portrait. Instead, this is just an elite that is found underneath Nizal Temple in the Taolong Steppes. These next ones are all from Timeless Isle. So, as you can see, these are a lot harder to get. And the reason that the Odd Polished Stone hasn't got a specific person it drops by is because it can drop by the rare mob Golganar, or otherwise the giant elite Eroded Cliff Dwellers. I decided to put these next few in the kind of other toys category because they don't really fit into anywhere else. So the top 3 dice are all obtained by rogue pickpocketing. There are various mobs that you have to do this for. The Orb of Deception and the Super Simeon Sphere are all both world drops. So Super Simeon Sphere is from Northrend and the Orb of Deception is from Anywhere in Burning Crusade. The Time Lost figurine is kind of obtained as a kind of a side effect of grinding Shatari Skyguard rep. It's basically by handing in scrolls that are dropped from the mobs and killing Turok. It's a bit of a rare chance for him to drop it though. So now you've seen most of the toys that can be obtained. Obviously there are a few more, but I've added them in later. What's more important now is to have a look at the ones that can be obtained in Warlords of Draenor, because there are a lot of them. So let's start with the rare mobs of Warlords. And basically, all these are obtained through a single person, except for the Burning Legion Missive, which is actually can be obtained through 3 rare mobs, because they're all demons, and basically they are Karazos the Triumphant, Sixthis Maiden of the Slaughter, or Golzamar. So these guys can be found in Talador, along with Clixis Webspinner and the Moan of Murmur. Otherwise, in Shadowmoon Valley, you have the Ancient's Bloom, the Black Whirlwind, which is obtained from the Soul Twisted Toric, and also the Hypnosis Goggles. Otherwise, in Nagrand, you have the Iron Buccaneer's Hat and the Outrider's Bridal Chain, which is obtained by killing Warleader Tome. The Botany Camouflage, the Bubble Wand, the Petrification Stone, and also the Spirit of Bashiok can be obtained from Gorgrond. And then finally, here at Frostfire Ridge, you have to kill Breathless in order to obtain Stolen Breath. And so that sums up the rare mobs. Moving on to the treasures in Draenor, and these are similar to the treasures that were in Pandaria. Basically, they'll be lying around, or otherwise you have to do something special to acquire them. So to begin with, in Shadowmoon Valley, you have the Angry Beehive, which is by a tree at the large southern waterfall in Blade Moon. And then you have the star chart, which is found in the Astrologer's Box on the 2nd floor of Taluna Observatory. And then the Vindicator's Armor Polish Kit is found in the Vindicator's Cache at Anchorite's Rise, and it's in the middle of the lake there. Then we have the 2 from Frostfire Ridge, so the Arena Master's Warhorn, which is found in the Circle of Blood. Apparently spawns 2 opponents, of which you can then pour some beer and grab some ice and chill out and watch them. Sounds fun. And then the Pretty Draenor Pearl, which is from the Lagoon Pool, and then after that the Giant Clam, which is basically fished up from the special pool at very northwestern coast. Now we move on to Talador, and the first one is the Giant Deathweb Spider Egg, which is just simply found randomly in Deathweb Hollow. And then Deceptia's Smouldering Boots is actually a strange one, because apparently there's a rare chance in Talador that there's a fake quest hub, and then once you speak to Deceptia, it results in an unexpected cutscene, which I won't spoil for you, because if you do find it, it is brilliant. It's honestly so good. And then finally, the Goron Garb is from Gorgrond, and this is found by an unhatched Goron egg at the east end of the Valley of Destruction. Now, the next ones are from quests in Draenor, and the Fire Fury Totem and apparently the Blazing Diamond Pendant are both Horde. Now, the Fire Fury Totem is just a quest from Frostfire Ridge, whereas the Blazing Diamond Pendant is actually a jewel crafting quest where you actually learn to create gems in Draenor. So I'm not sure if there's going to be an Alliance version of this or not. I have to see. But the totem is from the quest Fury of Frostfire, and the Diamond Pendant is from the quest Diamonds Are Forever. The Alliance Touch of Naru is actually a garrison campaign quest called The Trial of the Champions. But yeah, moving on swiftly onto the reputations of Draenor, and there are only 4 of them this time, mainly with the Shatari defense and also various clans of the Orcs. So you got the Frostwolf clan and the Laughing Skull clan. Not really a lot there, but now the garrisons. There are quite a few toys with the garrisons. The Hearthstone card, so the autograph Hearthstone card, the Hearthstone board and the winning hand are all from a vendor that will appear in your garrison, whether you're Horde or Alliance. And the Fruit Basket, Gammon's Braid, Leon's Warning Sign, Manastorm's Duplicator, and the Void Totem are all obtained through the Inn, as there are various quests given to you there. The Wayfarer's Bonfire, which is actually a reference to Dark Souls apparently, is given to you by Swiller of Andahol, which apparently also appears in your inn at some point and can be a follower. And finally, to sum up the Warlords of Draenor, we have one from vendor, so the Bloodmane Charm, which is actually a limited supply from a smuggling run in the Spires of Iraq, which happens once every 10 minutes, and if you're Alliance, the vendor you'll be going to will be Honest Jim. If you're Horde, you'll be going to Linny, the Skinny Lead Pockets. Now that all the Warlords of Draenor toys are done, there are a few more coming in for Warlords of Draenor, but they include seasonal toys. So, let's have a look at all the seasonal and world event toys. So I've gone in order of when these events happen throughout the year. So to begin with, we have the Lunar Festival, and there's only one from there. You have the Alun's Lantern, which is very, very easy to obtain since you get it as a reward for killing Omen. Then we move on to Lovers in the Air, where you have 3 of them. So the Heartbreaker is found in the heart-shaped box, which is a reward for doing the seasonal boss, which is on a daily cooldown. The Picnic Basket requires 10 love tokens and it's just bought from the vendor. And the Love Prism is at the moment unknown how to acquire it yet, as it's being implemented in 2015. Unfortunately, there aren't any new toys for Noble Garden, but Children's Week has one, which is the Green Balloon, which is simply bought from a vendor for 10 silver at either Orphanage in Stormwind or the Orphanage in Orgrimmar if you're Horde. Now the next ones for Midsummer are going to be quite hard to obtain in 1 year, especially if you haven't bought them before because it's taken up bag space. So the Brazier of Dancing Flames is already in the game, which you can buy for 350 Burning Blossoms. Otherwise the 2 new ones, the Burning Defender's Medallion, costs 500 Burning Blossoms, and then the Cozy Bonfire also is 350 blossoms. So on to Brewfest now, and there are 2 new toys coming to Warlords, and they are the Brewfest banner and the Steamworks sausage grill. The banner will cost 100 Brewfest prize tokens, whereas the sausage grill will cost 200. If you want the other ones as well, which are currently in the game, then the Keg Pony will cost you 200, the Pony Keg will cost you 100, and the Pandaren Brew Pack will cost you another 100. So again, another one that is quite difficult to obtain in 1 year. In Hallow's End, there is only one toy, and that's the Little Wicker Man, which costs 150 Tricky Treats. And it's similar for the Pilgrim's Bounty. You will get a silver-plated turkey shooter, which is a permanent version of the current turkey shooter. Now, since Pilgrim's Bounty is coming up, be able to find out how to obtain this then. At the moment, it seems to be just a simple vendor thing, since it has a sell price. Now on to the final seasonal event, and the one with the most toys, which is the Winter Veil. So you can get the Crashin' Thrashin' Flyer controller, which is from a Christmas gift of the previous year, so 2013. It may be still available from the Stolen Present quest of this year. The new one, Crash and Thrash and Shredder controller, I believe will be the Christmas gift of 2014. The football and the pigskin can both be obtained through the toy maker, or if you would like the Christmas versions for more toys, then you'll have to try and get them through Stolen Presents again. Otherwise, move on to the cushions. All the cushions will be obtainable through the Gently Shaken gift this year. So if you want all of them, you're going to have to do Christmas on multiple characters, which surely won't be hard enough because you can just keep creating level 1s to get them all. The Mini Zep controller is from the Stolen Present, or otherwise you may still have it from 2010, since that was the gift then. And then the Winter Veil Disguise kit is was sent to you, at least it should have been, if you have done You're a Mean One, which is the daily quest. Lastly, the world event, not the seasonal event, but the world event of the Darkmoon Fair. All these are currently in the game, but they weren't previously toys, so you may not have kept them or bought them. So you have the Darkmoon Whistle, which apparently is really annoying and is like the train set, that requires 90 Darkmoon prize tickets. The yellow balloon can just be bought from one of the vendors walking around for 10 silver, and Moonfang's Paw and Shroud can just simply be acquired by killing Moonfang, or otherwise you can buy it off the auction house if you're extremely unlucky and just want them straight away. Now on to the very, very difficult toys to acquire and virtually impossible, because these are from the trading card game, which, if you want to actually buy these off eBay, or the activation codes at least off eBay, then it's going to set you back quite a bit. They are cool items, but yes, they're very, very hard to get unless you buy the World of Warcraft trading cards and get lucky. So for a collector's point of view, these might not be the ones to go for, at least the ones not in game anyway. And finally, move on to the Unobtainable Toys. Now, you may already have these, you may not. Unfortunately, there is no way to get these anymore, which is quite annoying because the first 4 are from the attack on Orgrimmar, so before Siege of Orgrimmar came out, and they weren't toys and they took up bag space, so I didn't bother buying any of them. But the second lot, so the Dark Spear Pride and Nomagon Pride, were from the new starting areas and before Pandaria. However, the next 3 I've put in unobtainable. You can still get them, but there is a very, very, very small chance of getting them, because the Carved Ogre idol is no longer like the card. It's from the trading card game, and no more of those cards are actually being produced. So it's very rare for you to actually be able to find someone who still has this. Also, the Murloc costume, there were 8,000 given out at the 2007 BlizzCon. So to actually find someone who still has this and not used it as well, because remember, you have to use the activation code to actually obtain this. There is pretty much no chance for anyone to actually still have this code, or at least not be able to have it for a reasonable amount of money, because it's going to cost you so much if someone still has that code. The Crash and Thrash and Racer controller was from 2008 Christmas, so Winter Veil, and unless they've added it to the Stolen Present kind of loot table, I believe that this cannot be obtained anymore. It may still be there, but I have not heard anything about it. So that sums it up for the toy box, or at least everything that seems to be in the toy box. There are a few things which aren't listed in the toy box, but are listed in other sources, like the beta, and also some things in the toy box, like the Alliance and Horde Gladiators banners or Arena banners, are also in the toy box, but there is no information of where to actually get them, so I couldn't put them anywhere. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found it very informative of where to get your new shiny toys. If you enjoyed this and want more World of Warcraft things, then please feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you next time.